Mission Control, the space pod has landed.
Alright, how you doing?
Good.
And your vlogger name is?
CNCycle.
Okay, cool, man. He came all the way up from the OC. We were going to do a little switcheroo.
Yep.
We got the Ninja 300 here, which you guys have all seen. And we also have his BMW S1000R with the asymmetrical headlights.
I call them lazy eye.
Got a little flash screen here.
Yep.
Anything else you want to explain about this? I can see some other mods.
There's a few modifications on it other than the fly screen. It's got the Remus slip-on exhaust. I got the Pazzo levers. The SARGENT comfort seat, which made a big difference.
Nice. And more inseam for space pod.
The RNG tail tidy.
Uh-huh.
The RNG crash bombs.
Cool. Those are very nice looking
carbon
sliders.
fiber front fender and rear hugger.
Carbon fiber.
And I think that's it.
CNCycle. There's your vlogger name.
Highly customized sticker.
Very cool. What year is it?
15.
And how much horsepower?
160.
Damn.
Yep.
And it pulls like a Mack truck, I'm sure, but faster.
And I have it in the most aggressive mode for you as well.
All right.
So you'll
Sweet.
have fun.
Alrighty, cool. So I guess we're gonna head out, boys and girls, and gonna do another bouquet run. I'll give you my impressions on this bike, and space boat out. We'll see you guys in a bit. Let's see. I've done a lot to it. It was kind of a test bed to see what I could do with this bike. So we have the preload caps here. We have the eBay windscreen, the Pazzo levers. We have this tech spec tank protector. The cowl back here, of course, customized stickers by moi. And we have the full Yosh carbon exhaust with an full exhaust system with an ECU tune by Flash Tune, and it also has a quick shifter. Obviously, that's upshift only. So we also have the chassis protectors here, and the tail tidy, and then mirror wideners by Motec, Pirelli Diablo Rosso 2 tires, very good tires, and the back's still pretty new, and also Woodcraft clip-ons right here, Woodcraft weighted bar ends. So these are really nice, and it's got 40.2 horsepower, up from 35 stock. Okay. So it's going to be one of the faster 300s you've probably ridden, and it's really great.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, awesome. All right, cool, let's do it. So it's a little tallish, but there's a Sargent seat on here, and the Sargent seat makes things a lot easier. I can kind of foot it. Can I even put the kickstand up? Yes, I can. Actually, it's not too bad to foot. I gotta do a little butt hop. Tank is good, nice and wide. It's actually very smooth. I'm sure it's an inline 4. So this is the 2015 BMW S1000R. I'm not going to lane split just yet. It's very odd because you're pretty damn close to the bars, but a lot of naked bikes are like that. I'm shifting too early. The gauge is pretty readable, or legible should I say. See, the blinker's in a good spot. I gotta adjust the mirror though. Good. The clutch is actually very easy to operate. It's nice and smooth. I already got the hang of it. This bike's very easy to ride. I'm shifting way too early. I realize that. I do have to adjust my right mirror. The Sargent seat is very comfortable, and he said it gives you about another inch and a half of inseam, or foot to the ground, closer to the ground, I guess. Huge benefit for me right now. It's actually quite a sweet bike. I actually love a naked bike. A lot of reasons to love a naked bike. One thing about a naked bike is they're really comfortable. No denying that. And this thing is no exception. It's actually just as comfortable as the Street Triple R, which is my current favorite naked bike. But we'll see how this does. Normally I wouldn't buy a leader bike just because I feel like it's a little bit over my head for my skill level. Even though I've been riding forever, I don't ride that fast, so I don't really need the leader bike power. But I have owned an R1, so it's not foreign to me. I am familiar with the power, and actually owning a leader bike is different than just riding one, because you really get to explore that power. But it doesn't feel unwieldy. It doesn't feel like it's too much right now. It doesn't feel like the 1050 felt. It looks like it has a flash to pass switch here on the left, as long as I keep low beams on. Okay, there's CN. The shifter doesn't stick out as far as mine, so I keep missing it. Don't worry, CN, we're gonna hit the twisty soon. Now, you never know the skill level of the person you're meeting. You can often tell very quickly if you're too slow for them, which I'm a pretty conservative rider. I don't push too far in the street, even though I usually leave a little bit of extra performance gap just for safety reasons. But oh, that was a big pull there. I'm in 5th gear, which is probably too high. Oh man, it's really easy to turn this thing. It's a pretty color blue too. Great thing about these leader bikes is you can be in a tall gear. Oh man, it turns very easily. It turns much more easily than I would have guessed. I mean, I'm used to leader bikes being slower and ponderous. It's nice knowing you have all that power on tap when you need it. So there's a lot of extra buttons on this thing. ABS, not touching that. Trip info. Fourth. See, I gotta get used to looking at a different spot for these gauges. Good thing I didn't pass. And this person might be making a left, so. That's the advantage of power right there. You can make passes in a short time. I'm gonna wait for to catch up. He's on a slower bike too. He's on my bike, so he needs more room to pass. 4th gear. The bike feels really planted and solid. super comfortable, man. It's just really cool. Alright, let's try a tuck. He's got his hat back there. I don't want to disturb that. That fly screen is kind of wide, and it works pretty well. Works pretty darn well. And the bike actually looks pretty cool for a naked. When I had my R1, I used to ride in third on this road all the time. You didn't really need to go down to second a whole lot. And that's the thing about a leader bike. You have so many choices of how you want to ride. And the thing has power everywhere. Especially this thing. Now, I've never ridden a BMW bike ever in my life. This is actually my first time. Oh, wow. There's no engine braking. I should mention that. There's like no engine braking on this thing. I actually feel very comfortable on this thing. Okay, which gear? Oh my god. So when you get on the throttle, it's actually very responsive in third gear. So you got to use very fine movements. This is a slow corner. Third gear is just fine. So yeah, you always want to have good throttle control anyway, but when you're on someone else's bike for the first time and it's a bigger engine, you know, you want to be careful. Better to be careful and be slow than be fast and crash. Suspension is good. You gotta get used to the bike still in these corners. Yeah, it revs to the moon. And that wasn't to the moon, but I know it will. Just by knowing what an inline 4 can do. It's very flickable, very easy to make direction changes. Oh man, that power kick is just crazy mid-corner. So I gotta be, that's, in one way, the Ninja 300 is more fun that way, because you don't have such a big kick when you're trying to get on the gas. Right there, yeah. I could ride in fourth gear. Lower that kick a bit. There we go, that's better. Not such a huge kick. Now I can enjoy the turns better. Great brakes. The bike just feels amazing. Really good, man. This thing would give the Street Triple R a run for its money, and not just for power, but like handling. It's pretty good. Doesn't feel like a leader bike. is, man, I really love this bike. Naked bikes, man, they're pretty awesome. Careful, you. I guess the main reason I like a faired bike is I like a bigger windscreen that doesn't, you know, that matches the bike. I like the look of a full faired bike too. And obviously my whole theme relies a lot on looks. I haven't tried like hanging off on this bike or anything. It is fun to squirt out of corners like that. It's weird, I feel like I'm going slow, but I'm probably going at my same pace. I do more braking because I'm accelerating more. Nice and smooth. This bike is butter freaking smooth. If you're a smooth rider like I am, I'm more smooth than I am fast, then this is the bike for you, man. I'm telling you, this bike is smooth as hell. Also, the Triumphs I've ridden are smooth, and that's what I like. I find Kawasaki's to be pretty smooth as well. I am going to ride a ZX-10R pretty soonish. I would love to ride this on ACH. The smooth road, smooth bike, smoothest rider. It's a fun double apex corner there. The tank is just perfect for gripping. I love tanks like that, where they're just right there. They're not in your way, but they're right there when you want to grip a tank. Nice. I did wear my earplugs on the road, but you know, the wind isn't bad because it's canyons, we're not going that fast. Freeways would be nightmarish. He's got a cell phone mount. He's got a Suburban Delinquent reservoir cap cover. Oh wow, there is no engine braking. No, remember that, no engine braking, Space 5. I like the levers too. That's probably a mod I would do, because a lot of these bikes, the levers are so far out from the grips that if you have small hands like me, then you know, you're not able to use the full range of the levers. Hey, he's got a Triumph keychain. Maybe he has a Triumph car? No. Maybe he has two bikes. So I'm looking at the cluster again. Yeah, so red line is at 11K. I don't go too fast, mostly because well, here you got to go really fast to feel these turns. And you know, who wants to get a giant ticket? You gotta pick when you go fast. So it's the most fun with the least risk. It's a nice, almost like a matte finish on there. The Sargent seat is really great. It's got an interesting contour. I think a lot of people feel like they're sliding into the tank. And so it has a little lip on the end, which is pretty cool. Keeps you firmly ensconced. Windy. See, I am off the gas right now entirely. It's almost like a cruise control. Weird. I have a feeling it's electronic cruise control, which on a long trip would be amazeballs. And then when you do any other kind of input, it turns off just like a car. I guess you don't want that on a twisty. You want to be able to disable that. At least I wouldn't. Especially if I don't know it's coming. Oh, you know what? I'm hitting it with my finger on the left, the cruise control, because I have a very inward grip, so I'm actually on top of it. So I gotta ride out more. Kick. Yeah, see, I'm hitting it right there. Because my grip, I like it in on the left. So yeah, this thing does have engine braking, like most bikes. But watch that cruise control. Don't be an idiot like me and hit it on accident. Oh yeah, my signal's on. 2, 1. I think the reason I do that is so I can get to the lever more easily, because levers have a curve inward on the inside, and that's why I have that habit, no doubt. See, the lever's a little farther away now. The things that happen when you're short. Now this time I'm going to do it on purpose. Next time I do it. Well, you don't need rear brake on this thing. I mean, not like you do on the Ninja 300. Let's see if I can try it now. See, now the cruise control's on. So yeah, my finger was covering that. I usually rest it there. Thankfully it's a forward motion. I can see doing long trips on this bike with earplugs, for sure. notice I've been quiet lately. That's because I'm too busy having fun. I'm loving the bike. The bike's just really great. I'm starting to feel at home on it, other than the unfortunate position of the cruise control. But that's just more peculiar to me in the way I like to put my hands down on the bars. None of them wave. Oh my god, what a pig. Just kidding. First of all, I love that bike. It's awesome. Yeah. One downside is I accidentally hit the cruise control when I reset my...
Now, you know what? You can slide, you know, it's my fault because you slide it back over so it's blocked and you can't hit it.
Is there a way to turn it off?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So, I hit it 2 times before a corner.
You just... And then you can't push it. I left it on. So you just slide that over.
Oh, okay, good.
That's my bad.
Good, perfect. Because I noticed it goes forward now, and I even recreated it just to make sure I knew how it worked. Yeah, that's great. Because I have a kind of an inward grip.
Yeah.
So when I went to reset, I tapped it, and I was like, hey, no engine braking, and then I realized it was cruise control later. And thankfully, the controls override, just like cruise control should work. I give it like a 9, man. It's on par with the Street Triple R. So yeah, quite good.
This boat, buddy.
Boom.
Good?
What'd you think of the 300?
I loved it.
Yeah?
So first off, I thought it was going to be this, you know, major adjustment I was going to have to make in the way I ride. It was going to take a long time to get used to.
Right.
After about 2 minutes, I felt like I'd been riding it forever.
That's awesome. That's how I felt on this bike. I loved it.
Yeah, and you know, obviously on the straightaways it doesn't quite have the giddy up, but on the turns I felt probably more confident on this than I do on this. I mean, I felt like I could get it way over and it was really confidence inspiring. Yeah, you can give it, like what I noticed is on this you can give it as much gas as you pretty much want. Yeah. It's not going to bite you. This, if you're not careful, especially if you're in 3rd gear, it's so much power. So what I realized, I just ride in 4th gear. It's got enough power to handle it. Yeah. And I felt a lot better in 4th gear. So cool, and you've never ridden one of these, so you don't know what it's like stock, but you know what it's capable of, you know. It was great. And you could push it further. The suspension's already really good, but you could push this so much further, and it's just it's fun as hell. The exhaust sound, the popping, I love it. This does it a little bit, but this thing is pop, 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 pop. Every time you're off the throttle, it was great. Yeah, that's part of the fun, I think. It's kind of a raucous sound. And I noticed getting on, it's a single disc up front, so it's kind of like, oh, okay, I better be mindful of the brakes. I felt like I could stop just as hard on this as I can on this. I mean, it's no problem and really sensitive. Yeah, the brakes are great. Really nice tank, great, easy to grip, and just... it's wide though, isn't it? Beautiful. It's wide, but I like it. All right, cool. Let's switch back. We'll go to Chile. Oh man, this thing feels like a race bike after I've been on the naked position. And the clutch feels amazing. Well, YouTubies, if you made it through that, congratulations. This was yet another SpacePod test ride. And thank you for watching, as always. I just passed 23,000 subs. Thank you to all my subscribers. Without you guys, I'm just a dude in a spacesuit talking to himself, and that's a little crazy. So, thanks again. Thank you to CN for coming out.
And thank you for letting me ride your awesome BMW S1000R, S1000R 2015. So until next time, YouTubies, Space Pod out.